Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Brad Albright, co-founder of Evvio. The company has a mission to make internet-based earning and spending seamless and instant for anyone, anywhere, whether you're using fiat or crypto in both the real and virtual worlds. Brad, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you.
Yeah, you got it. Let's talk about where we are with e-commerce now. Some of the constraints that you're seeing by virtue of legacy payment infrastructure.
Sure. Yeah, happy to. Maybe I could just take a minute, give a little bit of background. I have three other co-founders. We have been colleagues, various endeavors for quite some time. We come from backgrounds that are steeped in the worlds of banking, finance, marketplaces, as well as communications network technology. In my case, I was an investment banker for quite some time. I ran JP Morgan's communications technology practice globally. And quite some time ago, we collectively envisioned possibilities with respect to what can happen within the e-commerce market by virtue of the explosion in connectedness that's occurred, by virtue of improvements of communications infrastructure, adoption of smart mobile devices, connected mobile devices, and so forth. And we thought very carefully about the question that you asked with regard to what are some of the challenges that need to be overcome in order for the full potential of e-commerce to be realized. And what we knew to be the case was that legacy payment systems that really drive e-commerce in mature, well-developed economies were not developed with the internet, let alone e-commerce in mind. They were deeply entrenched and predate the introduction of those innovations, resulting in the need for third-party intervention for transactions to be completed. Specifically, banks and credit card companies and other payment processors, and their participation in the market and the need for such introduces additional steps that can be cumbersome. There are fees that are required by those parties in order to settle transactions. And for those who don't have access to the banking system, don't have credit cards and so forth, they're fundamentally excluded from participating in opportunities to conduct commercial activities online. So it was with that awareness that we started thinking about how do we address these issues and achieve a vision that we had with regard to fast and free commercial opportunities using online interaction for anybody.
So Brad, what are those opportunities if you unlock them by eliminating those constraints that you had just mentioned?
Yeah, great question. We see it as being multidimensional and tremendous in potential impact. Just starting with the inclusion point of view. In 2019, the Federal Reserve issued a report that in the US alone, more than 60 million adults are either unbanked or not involved in the banking system at all. They are fundamentally excluded from active participation in earning, spending and saving via online interaction. We also understand very clearly that because of the need tied to legacy payment systems for third parties to participate in completing transactions, there are multiple steps that have to be completed that ideally wouldn't be necessary. And that leads to time delays, as I said, as well as fees being charged that leak value out of the commercial environment in which people want to participate.
How does fluid commerce open up that opportunity?
We've spent quite some time, many years now, designing and developing ideas that have yielded patents being granted to us in the US, the UK, the EU, and Japan, markets where obviously there are very, very large economies, but also have the reality of legacy payment systems as a dependency. And with the methods associated with those patents, for those who implement the fluid commerce capability, they are able to offer a much more robust, more inclusive, a more favorable commercial environment by eliminating those inefficiencies and impediments that I alluded to.
At the top, I had mentioned that whether you use fiat, crypto, digital currencies, tokens, or rewards, do you see the usage of digital assets for e-commerce becoming more ubiquitous as more and more people adopt that technology?
Absolutely. In fact, we just announced our first partnership. I should say that only within the last few weeks have we come out of stealth mode and started to formally discuss commercial opportunities with respective partners with regard to fluid commerce and announce it to the marketplace. But to us, currency acceptance is just one constraint that is associated with legacy payment systems. Affording people the opportunity to exchange value in whatever form might make sense for them is a key part of achieving the vision that we've had for quite some time now. And in fact, we just announced our first partnership. It's with a blockchain company called Veet Labs that shares our vision for fast and free transactions being conducted.
All right, Brad, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.